Hello guys, today I'm in front of you from the heart of financial district of London, and London is the financial center of the whole world. Today I'm going to talk about the history of banking or history of finance and the purpose why it was being set up and what a mess we got into. Let's talk about the history of the banking. History of the banking could be traced back to 2000 BC from India, Greece and Roman Empire. World's first banking financial institution was being set up in Italy in 1472. The world's largest bank was founded in 1984 in China. It's Industrial and Commercial Bank of China. And there are almost 32,000 banks in the whole world. The purpose of setting up the finance was at the start was only to give loans to farmers and traders who were traveling from one city to another city. And later on, money was being first used in 9000 BC, and that money was being called grain money or cattle money. In other words, you call it barter system. And I think most of the people who are student of finance or who are just a student of business as well, they know that what is barter system. So I'm not going to go into details about the barter system. Record keeping was being started in 3200 BC. Now I'm going to explain you the simple meaning of banking. The purpose of the banking to have a connection with the person who need money and who has access of money. For example, a person who is in London and who has access of finance, and other person is sitting somewhere in Scotland and who need money. If there is no banking system available, how they will connect each other and how the finance is going to be available to them. So banking play a role like a middleman, and they make money from both of the parties. So that's the way banking system work. Now you understand the history and the purpose of the banking. Now I explain you that what we got into and what was the purpose behind it. Trust and faith in the banking system is at its lowest level today. What is the reason behind it? Because the whole purpose which I explained to you before, what banking system was to connect two people. Why the trust at its lowest level is when there's a greed and desire to number one take over on any cost possible. That's why the banking system got into this mess today, that the general public, when you ask them, anyone, they don't have any kind of a trust or faith on banking system, and things become worse in after 2008 financial crisis, when the banking system crashed and many banking institutions were on their knees, and many people were asking questions and they were scratching their heads that what went wrong. It was a very simple thing, because there was kind of a horse race, that who's going to be number one and who has more power in finance and anywhere in the world. I still remember one of the CEO who was saying that I'm gonna make an empire in the whole world like a British Empire, and that bank is almost 80% owned by the UK taxpayer. So you can understand that what kind of a greed and this hunger for power being number one takeover. On the other hand, there's also shocking facts as well, that the pay gap is increasing to a dangerous level, to that level that it's unimaginable. According to a recent survey in December, which was been recently published by one of the very renowned newspaper in December 2020, that the pay gap between the top CEO and the person who work at the lower level is almost 2,605 times more. There is no moral and business sense that how that the pay gap could be from the CEO at the top and the bottom of the person can be that much big. It is almost 2,000 times more. How could you justify this? Just for your clarity, people who are listening to me, they must be thinking that what kind of experience I have, or what right I have to speak these kind of things. First of all, I'm a normal person just like you, a taxpayer. On the other hand, I have almost 15 years of experience in banking. So I have started my career right from the bottom, from the cashier, and I have experience across the board. So I'm not going to go into detail to glorify myself. That's not the purpose of standing here. When there was other fact in the banking system, why banking system collapsed and the people's trust and their faith in banking system is at the lowest level, because there's no accountability from across the board. When the CEO of any banking institution or any banking institution, they got away with making decision, and there's a collapse of these institutions, and at the lower level, a person like myself or any other person who work at the bottom or at the lower end of any institution, they make any mistake and you give them a letter with gross misconduct and end their career. There's a fear and there's no accountability. How you can justify that? I'm going to ask this question to people who are watching this and who are listening to this, that how many CEO and how many people who have made this wrong decision and who put the reputation and integrity of these institutions to dust. Thousands of jobs were lost and people were losing their jobs left, right, center in last financial crisis, and they're still doing it. But how many CEO they lost their job? If they lost their job, they got away with it and they got the new job in a new institution or you can say that new bank. accountability is not across the board. It is kind of this. There is a very famous saying, because I have worked inside the very famous saying. There is a glass ceiling. When you cross that glass ceiling, you are untouchable. When you're untouchable, you scratch my back, I scratch your back. This kind of system exists. None of these CEO people who are they make wrong decision, they face any wrath of the justice, and they are behind the bar, or they have lost their career. None of them has lost their career. If they have to resign for whatever reason, just for sake of resigning it, but they build up that much money, they live a life of a rock star. There was a time when a bank manager or people who are working for a bank, they got a lot of respect, because people know that they are helping the community. When they need any help, they provide you the loan. They have their life savings as well and everything. But after year 2000, everything starts changing. When there is a sales culture being number one, and on any cost possible, selling culture got grip of banking, and the all morality and everything was being lost. And you've seen that how these big scandals came out later, if it include PPI, subprime mortgages, where people lost their livelihood, where people lost their houses. Everything was being given on greed and making the profit which was unimaginable. By saying that, I would like to add that any business institute, whatever it is, either it's a grocery store, either it's a bank, or either you're a cab driver, or whatever profession you are, there's only one aim: making a profit. But there has to be rules and regulation, but there has to be accountability. That's why the law is there. But when you're not respecting the law and you want to make money on any cost, then it is not a profit. You can say that it is a criminal act. I am saying it for a long time while I was working for the bank. Why you have to push people to take loans, credit card, or whatever other products? Because it is a financial thing. Because if you, for example, if you go to Tesco's or any grocery store or anywhere to do shopping, things are everywhere. They don't come to you and ask you to buy this product or buy that product. You're not in a fish market. All the advertisement and marketing tools are available. Why you have to push people to take loans? And that's what everything went wrong. And I am fundamentally against that. I believe that you should not sell people or these finance products, because people, if they need it, they come to you and they take it. All you need to show that as service. You need to build the trust of the people, so they trust you, they'll come. All I'm trying to say that when you try to cross that thin line, and when greed take over, and after that it is a criminal kind of activity which has to stop. By saying that, I am firm believer, and I love this bank institute. Because of this banking institute, many people, they have their dream come true, which include they buy their home if they need something. Because sometimes a normal person on the street, they don't have that money available to buy home or to buy their car and everything. And these banks have created this kind of a tool where it is possible for you to get hold of these things. And this is a beautiful thing, and I'm great favor of that. But the only thing I'm saying that, like any other business, so like any other kind of activity where you cross a line and you do any criminal activity, then the accountability has to be across the board. Finally, I would like to say that not everyone is bad. There are many good people. That's why the system is working very good, and that's why the people still have some faith left, because there are very good people out there, and they're making sure that people faith and their trust and service is there without any greed. At the end, I would like to say that if I have said anything that you didn't like, I apologize. Thank you very much. Now I'm going to give you a bird eye view of this financial district, so you can have idea that where I'm standing, because this is the heart of the London, and this is, you can say that you can see the center of financial district in London. That is you can say train station or tube station.